Hello, I'm François, and I'm from ShakMat.
Yeah. What is your favorite knob or fader or switch on a piece of gear that you've created?
I think I really like the length and shift features knobs on the SuperBooth screw. So it acts as a bit like if you are slicing a sample, but it's acting on a sequence, but in the same principle. You take a length and then you choose which segment of the sequence you want to play. And it can be very fun to make breaks and stuff like that.
What bit of gear that you've made are you particularly proud of?
The mod Medusa, which is a Euclidean LFO. First, because it's a unique concept, and the second reason is because I developed it with an intern, so I had this idea for a long time, and I have bits of code running from different modules that just needed to be together. So at a certain point, I give it to the intern, all the part of code, and explain him how to put them together, just to have the concept proof. And when he gave me the module the first time, I plugged it in my studio. I knew something interesting was going to happen, but I had a very fresh thing about it, like not developing and hearing what it was going on. It was already almost all the core of the module was coded, and I did a patch with it. It was instantly like, oh yeah, the idea is really well working. So it was very exciting times to have this working and just to ask someone to, okay, just do it. And I will try it like a regular beta tester,
Fantastic.
Early stage was very fun.
Yeah.
And like every project, ending the project is like,
Finishing, it's hard.
it's hard, yeah.
How do you see your gear in the landscape of music?
Performative in the Eurorack world, which is not always very performative, but can be more technical.
Yeah. What music has inspired you to produce the gear that you make?
I'm really into some UK bass music, broken beat techno, same principle as techno, to be very loopy, but with something else as the four on the beat, and maybe polyrhythms and polymeters. Yeah, I would say that.
What is the most surprising tip or trick that you've discovered about a piece of gear that you've made?
With a bar quartet, sending like fixed offset in the input and using the transpose to control all the input at the same time, but with shifted notes, so to have like a scale and reversed chords, like using always the same notes, like a chord generator on a certain mode. Something we didn't think about it the first time, and one day just, okay, we can do that actually, and was solving a problem or something people were asking, can we have a mode like this? And we just found a way to patch it very easily.
Yeah. How did you get into making music gear?
So basically, I had a teacher job. I quit the teacher job because I had a musical project that started to go a bit crazy with tours and so on. And this project just died from a day, like in one day almost, the musical project was done.
Yeah.
And I was without any job. I was making sound engineering and a lot of music by myself. It's at the time I started to be really into modular. And I have a engineer background. I never worked in the industry, but it was more than 10 years ago. And I felt like some tools were missing.
Yeah.
So I just, one day I was kind of bored of not having that tool. And I was, actually, I can make it. So I did it for myself. People saw what I did. Say, I won one.
Yeah.
And it started almost like, not a joke, but something we just wanted to do with a friend to, let's try this. Let's try to industrialize one product. We will just do 20 of this model, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was the first idea. And little by little, actually very quickly, the first model sold very well. It was a Bishop Miscellany at the time. I know we are a company.
How do you most often start a new piece of gear? I mean, where do the ideas come from?
Mainly for musical applications, making music. So we all in ShakMat musicians, and usually it comes from a need I have in studio, like the first piece of gear.
Yeah.
So making music, and sometimes it pops like, I should need this to make music. Yeah, nobody did it.
Yeah. So it's actually an extension of your music making process almost.
Yeah, it's kind of a loop also, because now I'm making music with the project I'm making.
Of course. Yeah. How do you know when a piece of gear is finished though?
Where we don't have any doubt about any feature, when it's bugless, of course.
Yes.
There's always in the development some stuff, some aspect of a module where we say, not sure about that. It's okay, but okay is not enough. So we need to solve. There's always compromise.
Yeah.
But we have to be happy with the compromise we're making, and at the end we are struggling with problems which are not really problems because we are too deep into the development. But I guess it's symptomatic of making stuff and wanting to do the right thing while making stuff.
What is the best creative advice or production advice that you've ever heard?
It's very common for me. It's very common for me to being in a problem, discussing with friends of a problem, and it appears that quite often taking a break, I'm going to pee.
Yeah.
And by while peeing, I got I remember on some precise models, I had some kind of revelation.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like on the screen like the in code, and it's like it's like the moment where I can consider things more globally.
Yeah. Excellent. The overview.
The overview, yeah.